Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. Now a bit more transfer rumours is updated and I'm going to be discussing with you today. I'm going to be discussing a few things now. The top of the development is about Willian now from Chelsea. Reportedly, if Conte is to stay at Chelsea, Willian is basically demanding to leave Chelsea Football Club, because Willian Chelsea has found it pretty frustrating, under Conte especially this season, with the lack of game time Willian has been getting at Chelsea, and this is maybe why one of the reasons here he may want to leave Chelsea if Conte is to stay, because we know in the press it reported about 2-3 weeks ago at least that there was some Chelsea were actually convinced that Conte wasn't going to see out his deal. We know he's got a 3-year contract with Chelsea. We know he won the Premier League in his first season last season, did Conte, and Chelsea, missed out on quite a few targets back in August, and Chelsea, weren't satisfied with their lack of investment in the window, because Conte missed out on quite a few targets. Alexandro from Juventus, Chelsea had to be rejected from him. Chelsea were interested in Vardy. Chelsea, could still go for Ross Barkley or Benteke, in the January transfer window as well. I think Benteke is injured for Crystal Palace, is it? I think so. Ross Barkley says Chelsea could, re-show their interest in, because Chelsea is still basically looking for someone to partner up with Alvaro Morata, and this is what Conte wants, because he thinks he's lacking in that area. He wants someone to partner up with Alvaro Morata, in the front line, because Chelsea spent, I think, just over 100 million in the August window. They got Morata, for 70 million pound, and they missed out on quite a few targets. Lukaku was included. They missed out on him because we got him. They missed out on Llorente, so Conte wasn't satisfied about this, and Chelsea could still see a player or two maybe go in January or maybe go next summer. As well in the current process. And Chelsea have had a lot of different managers, over the years. They had Mourinho, Scolari, Villas-Boas, Carlo Ancelotti. Chelsea have had quite a few managers sacked in a short period of time over the years as well. So this is Conte's second year in his third season. Is Conte. The reports stemming that he could actually make a return back to Italy, Conte as well. But he's still looking to strengthen up in August. But Chelsea could still see a few players go. And Willian has been mentioned in the press, as I said, and potentially he's on Manchester United's radar as well as Willian, because Jose Mourinho's looking to reunite with a player. Jose Mourinho used to work with Willian, when Jose Mourinho was at Chelsea as well. But reportedly, Willian wants to make the move if Conte is to stay at Chelsea. And Willian, who made his international debut in 2011, the current player, he can play as attacking mid, he can play on the wing as well, because he's strong, he's quick, he's agile, he's very skillful, he's good in the air, strong with the ball as well. He's a Willian. So there has been reports saying he could leave Chelsea Football Club. He's made over century appearances now for Chelsea as well. But I think he's just frustrated with the lack of game time he's been getting. Willian, especially this season under Conte, he's frustrated with this. Willian. This is why you may want to make the move. And Willian's an ex-Shakhtar Donetsk player. He had 6 fantastic years there, won 5 Ukraine Premier League titles, Ukraine Cup, Ukraine Super Cup, and UEFA Cup as well. And since he's been at Chelsea, he's won quite a few honours, Premier League and that with League Cup with him and that and stuff like that as a Willian. But he could well leave, because Jose Mourinho, the board have said to Mourinho at Manchester United, we have to sell before we can buy. So potentially he's on our short list of transfer targets as well, is Willian from Chelsea in the current process. And it also didn't only mention Willian in the press the other day, it also mentioned David Luiz as well. It did, reports were stemming that reportedly David Luiz had a fallout with Conte, because he was dropped for our game against Chelsea, Manchester United's game against Chelsea. David Luiz was frustrated about this, and Jose Mourinho also used to work with David Luiz as well in the current process. And Jose Mourinho is keen on maybe reuniting with David Luiz. It did say he said in the press the other day that David Luiz was considering joining Manchester United reportedly, after a fallout with Conte. David Luiz made his international debut in 2010. He played in Confederations Cup in 2013 as well. Well, he was part of the team who won the Confederation Cup in 2013. Also progressed to the semi-finals in the FIFA World Cup in 2014 as well with Brazil. Did David Luiz as well in the current process. David Luiz is a very, very good player. He's very, very tall, and as well, he can play as a defensive mid, he can play as a centre back as well. Can David Luiz? But David Luiz, he's got experience of playing in Portugal with Benfica. He's there about 3 or 4 years. They've won that league a dozen times of Benfica anyway. He did well with Benfica, won the title with them. Then went to Chelsea. He's at Chelsea now, but obviously Chelsea repurchased him back. Chelsea won the FA Cup, Europa League, the Champions League during his 3 years from 2011 to 2014. And he went to Paris Saint-Germain a couple of years. Paris Saint-Germain had paid, that was the highest paid fee for the transfer fee then. We know that's been broken since that, though. PSG paid £50 million for him. He had 2 successful seasons there. I think it was 2. And now he's back at Chelsea. Chelsea repurchased him back £34 million. Maybe Chelsea, if they are willing to offload him, they may recommend that they want the £30-odd million, that they paid from him back in the... that the £30 million that they repurchased him back from PSG as well. But reportedly, Willian's been on Manchester United's radar. There's been rumours about David Luiz as well that were reported in the press last week as well in the current process. And also, as I just updated you earlier on, was about Marian Fellaini. Reportedly now, there's quite a few teams interested in Marian Fellaini. There's quite a few teams in the hunt for Marian Fellaini. It's mentioned Galatasaray. It's mentioned Besiktas. He has mentioned Juventus. Well, reportedly Fellaini's agent has approached Juventus, but I don't think Juventus are no longer interested. It's also mentioned Arsenal reportedly interested in Marian Fellaini as well. But Jose Mourinho is fears he fears that he could lose Fellaini on a free transfer next summer. Jose Mourinho's a big admirer of the player, and I think Jose Mourinho is desperate for Fellaini, to sign a new deal with Manchester United. Reportedly, though, he does fear, and he's actually admitted, Jose Mourinho, we could lose Fellaini on a free transfer next summer because basically Man United are not willing to cash in for Fellaini in the January window. He does come to an end of his contract next summer. In the summer does Marian Fellaini, and Jose Mourinho's admitted, he fears that he could lose him on a free transfer next summer because reportedly now PSG have entered the race for Marian Fellaini. PSG, because obviously PSG, the amount of money they've invested, and reportedly now PSG are actually, are willing to identify Fellaini. Are willing to identify Fellaini as a backup to Fargo Marotta from PSG as well. So reportedly they're identifying Fellaini as a good backup option for Figo Marotta as well. I think it's Figo Moretti or something like that. Figo Marotta from PSG. So PSG are identifying him as a fantastic backup for Figo Marotta from Paris Saint-Germain as well. But we know Fellaini reportedly, back in September, we'd offered him a new contract. Fellaini had reportedly turned this down. And reportedly Fellaini is demanding a higher wage increase. I think he's demanding £170,000 a week. He's currently on £120,000 a week at the moment, is Fellaini. But as we all know, as I said, Fellaini's been fantastic this season. He scored 3 Premier League goals. We know Fellaini's been injured this season, but we know this is definitely Fellaini's best. Definitely Fellaini's best season in Manchester United shirt. This is his 5th season of process. He's made 144 appearances for Manchester United. Scored about 19 goals as the player, Marian Fellaini. But he's a very, very good player, is Marian Fellaini. Well, he hasn't been really, but this season he's made a massive, massive impact in that midfield. His link-up play has been very, very good as Fellaini. And Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. He's made over 2 century appearances all in the Premier League as Marian Fellaini. We paid just over £27 million for him from Everton as well. But Man United, I think, have been in the process of trying to secure him a new deal. And it also has basically said, Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. They have a fantastic relationship together, Mourinho and Fellaini. And it did actually say, in the press, today that PSG are willing to offer him a contract, and they are willing to offer him a 4-year deal if he is actually, to go on and join Paris Saint-Germain as well. But reportedly, Paris Saint-Germain are interested in the player, as I said. And Jose Mourinho had blocked, Fellaini making a move to Galatasaray, in the August window as well. But Jose Mourinho's desperate that he does sign a new deal with Manchester United, the player. But potentially now he's reportedly been on Arsenal's agenda. Besiktas, Galatasaray, and now Paris Saint-Germain are interested in the player. And they basically want to use him as a backup for Figo Marotta. What's his name? Figo Marotta, something like that, if I've pronounced it right. But they're using a backup option for that current player as well. And as reported earlier on in the press, that basically the board have said we need to sell before we can buy. And it said the other day that the board have promised Jose Mourinho, free Galactico signings, as we all know. And reportedly said in the press today is about Music Ozil from Arsenal. We know that he's another player that's coming to an end of his deal. As I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for Ozil, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. Reportedly, if Ozil is to reportedly, make the move to Barcelona, reportedly he is demanding from Barcelona, he's demanding to Barcelona that he wants over £300,000 a week if he is potentially to make the move to Barcelona. He's also demanded a higher wage increase from Arsenal as well. And it has reported basically yesterday in the press that reportedly Mesut Ozil has agreed a contract to join Barcelona in January. And reportedly the contract was I think it was a 3.5 year deal or something like that. And we know Ozil's agent has been in discussions with Barcelona over this as well, and it did confirm basically Barcelona prepared to pay around about £17 million for him in January. Barcelona could offer him a signing on fee maybe in January as well, but reportedly he has been given permission, Ozil, to leave Arsenal in the January transfer window, as I said. But he did say the other day in the press that the Arsenal directors have currently stalled the move, so I'm not too sure about that, but that's what it said in the press the other day. But reportedly Ozil is demanding higher wages from Barcelona if he is to actually join Barcelona. It hasn't been Barcelona's main priority target, as we all know, because Barcelona, main priority target has been Philippe Coutinho to strengthen their team up, Barcelona. But I think they have got quite a few alternatives as well if they do fail with the pursuit of Coutinho, because we know they got Dembele and Moussa Dembele, who's been injured. I don't know if he's still injured, haven't really seen it, but they got Deulofeu in. They got Nelson Semedo in as well, did Barcelona, but they did miss out on quite a few targets. So hopefully for them, from their perspective, looking to get maybe Ozil or Coutinho in the January window. But as I said, saying out Ozil, and as I said, what we were saying, Messi doesn't want to see Ozil at Barcelona. He'd prefer to see Coutinho, would Messi. He'd rather see Coutinho than Ozil at Barcelona would line on Messi as well. But as I'm saying, Mesut Ozil, he has also been linked with a move to Old Trafford as Mesut Ozil as well, because I think Jose Mourinho's actually keen on reuniting with Mesut Ozil, if they were fantastic together at Real Madrid. Mesut Ozil's got obviously a lot of experience of playing in Spain as Mesut Ozil. He had 3 fantastic years there, made century appearances. Since he's been at Arsenal now, he has made over the century appearances as Mesut Ozil, and he's been fantastic. Well, he had a slow start to the season, but I think he's had 2 fantastic games this season for Arsenal. Ozil, he played well in Arsenal's victory, in their 5-2 victory against Everton. He played fantastically well. Got man of the match last week in the North London derby. Well, on Saturday or Sunday was it? I can't remember, but he got man of the match in the North London derby as well. Ozil and Sanchez played absolutely fantastic. So that may have thought Arsene Wenger still thinks, Ozil and Sanchez want to stay. But actually, he's come out and Wenger and said that Ozil could actually leave in the January window. And he's got experience playing in Spain, as I said, experience of playing in Germany because he was in the Bundesliga for 5 years. And we know he did say he was still fully focused on Arsenal, did Ozil. He hasn't really took much notice of the speculation that's going on recently. But if Barcelona are prepared to meet what Ozil is demanding in a wage increase, then he may join Barcelona. But the contract talks have stalled, as we all know. Ozil is in the process. Ozil is nowhere near signing a new deal with Arsenal. He can create chances. He can provide assists. And he's got a record of assists, especially since he's been to the Premier League, the player. But as I said, Arsenal paid £42 million for him from Real Madrid. As I said, Arsenal's second most expensive signing, highest paid fee for the German player. But as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for him in January, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer as well. And I think, while the Arsenal board, I think Gazidis has had to say about, regarding Ozil and Sanchez as well. But yeah, I do think Ozil is going to leave, but obviously he's been demanding a higher wage increase as well. But we know Barcelona, as main priority target is Philippe Coutinho, as we're all aware of it, is Philippe Coutinho, Barcelona's main priority target, because we know Coutinho's still on the contract at Liverpool until 2022. We know he's had experience of playing in Italy, with Inter Milan. He's also played with Spain in the past as well as Philippe Coutinho, but he's still under contract until 2022. But I think Barcelona maybe find their pursuit of Coutinho frustrating. This is why they've weighed other options options up of Barcelona, in the current process. But as I said, Coutinho, very, very good. He's become one of the most creative, agile midfielders as Philippe Coutinho, since he's been at Barcelona, since he's been at Liverpool, sorry, my mistake, since he's been at Liverpool. This is his fifth season of process. He's made over a century appearances for Coutinho. He hasn't been his best this season, as we all know, due to injuries, but Barcelona were desperate to get a deal over the line. They have been talks to Team Barcelona and Liverpool back in August, but Barcelona saw 3 bids turned down, for the current player. But as did say, Barcelona are eyeing out a fresh bid of £106 million for the player in January. And as I said, Liverpool should have cashed in, for Coutinho in the August window, because Liverpool's perspective is they still need to strengthen up defensively, they still need a goal scorer, they still need a finisher, the Liverpool Football Club. And I think they should have cashed in for him. But as I said, Coutinho plays attacking mid, he can play on the flanks, he play on the flank as well. And I think, Coutinho, will elevate to that higher level if he goes to Barcelona. Much, much bigger club at Barcelona. They've got fantastic players and he'll elevate to that higher level. Liverpool is not going to be winning silverware with Barcelona. He is, and Luis Suarez does want to see, Coutinho, going Barcelona, as we all know. But Coutinho's representatives basically basically made it clear, that I think Liverpool value the player around £130 odd million, as we all know. But as I said, maybe Neymar want to see him at PSG, as I said, but he's not going to go to Paris Saint-Germain, I don't think, because Paris Saint-Germain are still looking to invest their midfield. They're still looking to reinvest. They're still looking to add depth and character in their midfield, because they've obviously showed an interest in Willian now. The PSG, in their opinion, think he'd be a good backup, for the Figo Morata, or whatever they call him. And, they've showed an interest in Fellaini, they've been interested in Philippe Coutinho as well. So, we will see what happens about that. And there's been quite a few players on Barcelona then, there's been Antoine Griezmann as well. He's been Manchester United's main price target as Antoine Griezmann, as we all know, in the current process. As I said, Antoine Griezmann reportedly, did estimate 6 out of 10 he was going to come to Old Trafford, but due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, we never got a deal over the line. And as confirmed, basically, Mourinho did miss out on quite a few targets back in August. Griezmann was basically one of our main targets. He's got a release clause of around £86 million. Antoine Griezmann has got a release clause of around about that. I do think he's still in the contract, I think, until 2021 and 2022. He's Antoine Griezmann as well in the current process. But Man United have approached Griezmann's representatives, as we all know. They have approached Griezmann's representatives of Man United. He did regret the decision that he did not join Man United. He did still say the Manchester United move is a possibility, did Antoine Griezmann as well. He's got a lot of fantastic experience of being in Spain, so it would be good to see, Griezmann, come and experience the Premier League. He did say the other week, that probably Manchester City had been in contact with Atletico Madrid. It also reported, sorry, it went off, that Pep Guardiola held talks, with Antoine Griezmann as well. But it did report in the press the other week, reportedly, that Griezmann had agreed, reports stemming from France, that reportedly that Griezmann had agreed a deal in principle to join Barcelona as well, Antoine Griezmann. But he has been on Barcelona's agenda, as well as Antoine Griezmann, but clinical, distinctive in his play. He's a good, efficient finisher, is Antoine Griezmann as well. And this is his 4th season in the process with Atletico Madrid, is Antoine Griezmann's as well. But I think he was keen on the move to Manchester United back in August, as we all know. But Griezmann's a very, very good player. I love him, Manchester United. He did say Man United, potentially and possibly eyeing Griezmann out as a potential replacement for Henrik Mkhitaryan. And he did say possibly we could put Griezmann, in that number 10 role. Mkhitaryan's, had a good start to the season, but as I said, the last few weeks at least, he hasn't been hitting form. Mkhitaryan, this is why recently, Jose Mourinho, has been dropping, big time. But I think Griezmann, you could put him on number 10. He looked very, very good in that attacking midfield. You could even put him in number 7, because number 7 we've got a vacant, and from a commercial point of view, we wouldn't want to keep number 7 vacant. Griezmann, very, very good for France. Voted the best player in the Euro 2016 as well. Got France to the quarterfinals back in 2014 as well. Very good with Sociedad. Risen up the ranks there. Won the title with them. He crossed 5 seasons, scored 52 goals in just over 2 century appearances as well. Did Antoine Griezmann. But potentially Man United could still go for the current player, as Well, and also another potential Barcelona target is Paulo Dybala as well, and that Paulo Dybala is another potential Barcelona target. The current Juventus player, and it did say back in September, reportedly, I think Manchester United had showed an interest in Paulo Dybala as well. He's another good player. He's like Griezmann. They're comparable in my opinion, even though they're both playing different leagues. They're both playing different leagues, they're both playing different countries, but I still think they're comparable in certain ways because, Griezmann's versatility is very, very good. Paulo Dybala's versatility is very good, very, very good because Paulo Dybala can play attacking mid, he can play in the front line as well, can Paulo Dybala, good at beating opponents, and I think he scored 42 Serie A goals as Paulo Dybala. He did actually confirm, Paulo Dybala, this could be his last season, with Juventus, and he did actually say, he misses Paul Pogba, who he has strong connections with, and he's in regular contact with Paul Pogba, and he did say he also misses Dani Alves as well, because as I said, Juventus have lost some decent players in the last couple of years. Lost Dani Alves, lost Bonucci, lost Vidal, lost Paul Pogba, and we purchased Paul Pogba for £89 million. Look at the big impact he's made since he's come to Manchester United. But before Juventus, we had Paul Pogba as well, didn't we, in the current process? But it did say, actually, if Paul Dybala is actually to leave Juventus, it did say Ed Woodward is planning, and Manchester United are planning, to put a staggering £155 million in for the player, Paulo Dybala. And he'd look good in the mix, he'd look good because he can play as attacking mid, he can play as a forward. So in the forward line, he'd look good alongside Martial, Rashford, and Lukaku and all that. Same with Griezmann, he'd look fantastic, alongside all them. And in the midfield, definitely Dybala, it'd look good with Pogba and Matic and all that. It'd look absolutely fantastic. But Paulo Dybala recently signed a new deal with Juventus back in April. He signed a new deal, didn't he? A new contract back in April with Juventus, and in his first season with Juventus, won the league, won the cup double as well. Did the current player? But I don't know if Juventus are actually willing to offload. Well, if they're demanding to offload the current player as well. And yeah. So anything else to update you with? What else am I going to update you with now? But obviously we know Juventus is basically main. Well, Juventus obviously got Matuidi, didn't they? They lost quite a few players. They really wouldn't want to lose Dybala, considering the amount of players they lost. But we know Juventus' main target, and Juventus have been, heavily linked with Liverpool's Emre Can, as we all know, because Emre Can is another player that's coming to an end of his deal with Liverpool Football Club. Reportedly, he was actually, demanding roundabout. I think he was demanding a wage increase, and I think he was demanding around £150,000 a week if he's potentially to possibly, secure a new deal with Liverpool Football Club. I think Liverpool have been in the process of trying to secure Emre Can a new deal with Liverpool. We know Emre Can he comes to an end of his contract in the summer, so he would potentially, become a free transfer, Emre Can for Liverpool. But Juventus have reportedly, been heavily linked with Emre Can, as we all know, because Emre Can he's made over a century appearances since he's been at Liverpool Football Club. This is his fourth season, in the process with Liverpool, because he's got experience of being in Germany, as we all know, as Emre Can. But reportedly, Juventus had held talks, with Liverpool. Juventus had approached Emre Can's representatives as well. Had approached Emre Can's representatives as well, but reportedly I think it did say Emre Can was demanding a release clause. He was demanding a release clause, and reportedly he was demanding a wage increase as well if he's to possibly sign a new deal with Liverpool Football Club. I don't think Juventus have got any intention of pursuing him in January, getting the pursuit of him. I think they'd rather wait until next summer to get him on a free transfer if he doesn't sign a new deal with Liverpool. But Emre Can's versatility is very, very good. Very, very good indeed. Can play as centre defensive mid, can play as full back, can play as a centre back as well, can Emre Can. And we know he was very, very good with Munich. He risen up the rank to Munich very, very well. Majority of his playing time, with Bayern Munich, he played in the reserve team, did Emre Can, and then went to Bayer Leverkusen, and then Liverpool had paid £10 million for the player, well, nearly £10 million, should I say. But as I said, Liverpool, I've got Naby Keita confirmed for next summer. It's a £48 million release clause. Liverpool have paid a premium towards this as well. There was actually rumours saying Liverpool, it could be overscheduled, and there was rumours stemming that Liverpool could get Naby Keita, in January. as well. So that could definitely then see Emre Can definitely fall down the pecking order and possibly be surplus to requirements and leave Liverpool Football Club. As I said, but as I said, that's really everything to update for today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe. As always, guys, and take it easy, guys. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.